Alright, now we're actually officially live. So yeah, greetings everybody. My name is Pasta Guy. And here with me today, as always, is the wonderful Cupcake Paints. Say hi, Cupcake.
Hi, Cupcake.
Why did I knew you were gonna do that? Anyways, today we actually have some smaller creators on. Yeah, that's right. After we did Dorked and TS Underswap and Voltra and stuff, that big like trilogy of episodes that did like really well. We're going a bit back to our humble roots at interviewing small creators. And
Yes.
yeah, uh, uh, yeah, it's like so. Yeah. Any Anyways, yeah. So today we have Keane and Dr- drasti'famy. I don't know how to say that.
Justifany? Justifany?
Drasti'famy. Yeah. Yeah. And this podcast is gonna be a little bit different because these guys aren't actually in the voice chat with us. Well, they are, but they're not gonna be talking to us, at least in the traditional manner that a lot of our guests do. They're for a lot of reasons they just can't voice chat with us, but they can text chat, so we can still ask them questions and stuff. And
Mm.
yeah, I would like to thank both of you so much for actively reaching out to come on the show with us, because you're like one of the first people that's just legit just DM'd me and stuff, being like, "Hey, can I come on?" And yeah, I think Corpupine was actually the first one to do that. She just out of nowhere was it just messaged me one day and was just like, "Yeah, sure. I'm not gonna say no to that." And her comic's really good. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, We, as always, we got a list of questions that we're gonna ask, which I need to send to Cupcake because that's one of the things I forgot to do, and
Ye-
and 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 yeah, hopefully this will be a fun time.
Yep.
Even if it did start off a little bit chaotic. I mean, there's a reason why that the intro was a little bit longer than the last couple times, mainly because I had to quickly assemble everything because I had kind of forgotten about it. Like, I knew the podcast was today. I forgot it was like at 5 though. I was like, oh no, it's at 5:30. But then I remembered, oh wait, it's at 5. So yeah.
Oopsie doopsies.
I had to assemble everything really quick and all that. And I and yeah, me and my what I was doing before this was like I was just calmly relaxing. Finally got to binge watch the fourth season of Infinity Train. Fantastic as always, because Infinity Train itself is fantastic, and I'm so glad that I finally got to watch that because my parents renewed the HBO Max subscription, mainly because they wanted to watch the Friends reunion special. I basically bribed them into giving us HBO Max. But
Yes,
yeah,
bribery.
let me do something right quick. Gotta bring my mic a little closer. Gonna actually turn off my mic so you don't hear it shaking around.
Hmm. Also, I have a question. I have a fan going. Can you hear it? Okay, good, because it's kind of noisy.
Uh, for those who wonder what I just said, uh, uh, for those wondering what I just said, I just said we couldn't hear Cupcake's fan. So
Yes.
yeah, no mysteries here. Anyway, is yeah. So Keane and just fan.
I'm gonna make a compilation of you just struggling to say people's names.
If this podcast has taught me if this podcast has taught me anything, it is that I am actually pretty bad at names, honestly, like pronouncing them and stuff, especially if their names I'm hearing for the first time. And not gonna lie, especially if they're names that are not a part of my first language and stuff. I'm American, and yeah, I typically remember those types of names better.
Yes, like Sam and John and.
Well, of course I remember Sam because my older sister's name's Sam. It'd be kind of rude if I didn't. Add stuttering to pass this bingo card. Yeah, Tevin Daniels. That's actually a really good suggestion.
Stuttering or struggling to say guest's name.
When the imposter is among us.
Imposter, 3 a.m.
Who wants to play Among Us at 3 a.m.? Oh boy, 3 a.m.
Oh boy, 3 a.m. Keane. I see. Okay.
It's Keane. Sorry. Oh, and in the private chat, they basically said it's basically pronounced drasti'famy. Just fammy. Drasti'famy. Yeah. Nailed it.
Nice.
I'll link the pronunciation in the chat. So, Drasti'famy. Yeah, Drasti'famy. I could English. I could do it really good.
Good job, Pasta. Good job.
Okay, so first question is what we're going to be doing is we're just gonna be asking our two guests how'd you both get into Undertale? It's just a simple question to start things out.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry if there's gonna be a couple pauses and stuff because we need to explain. We need to wait for them to type in and all that. And yeah. Also, Cupcake, yes, I will send you the list. I know I forgot to do something.
You said you were, and then you didn't. Ghosty is Kitty. On Twitch says 3 a.m. equals wake up time equals time to play game.
Yeah. Honestly, I have stayed up till 3 a.m., but it wasn't me just binging a game. It's usually just me like bored on the internet. Then I look down, it's just like, oh crap, it's 3 a.m. Or I'm talking with someone like on Discord or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Question.
Oh, that. Okay, so Keane says that all the Undertale stuff for them started in 2016. The first thing they saw that was related to Undertale was a YouTube video that is a theory about how Steven and Sans are the same person.
Well, that's one way to start it off. Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of like being like, oh, how are you introduced to Lord of the Rings? There was this one fan theory on what would happen if like Gandalf got the one ring of power.
was this theory about what would have happened if they had guns.
And yeah, it turns out they would have shot Sauron right between the eye, not right between the eyes because he only has one. And yeah.
So
Keane also says that they actually believed that theory for like a year, and they forgot the fan made MVs of Undertale that got her into it. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember those. Man, that takes me
Speaking of Steven
back.
Universe, I think I mentioned this before, but I have the first time I heard "Stronger Than You" was actually the Sans version, not the Steven Universe version.
Yeah, the Sans version.
Yeah, it brought me to it brought yeah, actually Undertale brought me to Steven Universe. Well, actually no, I had watched Steven Universe when it first was starting, but it wasn't really my thing. Then I watched that and I'm just like, oh dang, what's going on with this? I didn't see what's going on. I didn't know they were gonna be in like space and stuff.
Space.
I must go to the one place that hasn't been infected by capitalism. Space.
Space.
Okay. Drasti'famy. Said, well, I learned about it from a few friends. I joined the community back in late 2016, and I got deeply into Undertale in mid 2017 from buying the game. Also,
Nice.
Keane mentions one thing I remember the most about the MVs is Echoes. It's about Sans and Gaster at the Void, and Sans gave the power of friendship, as I remember. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, Echo. That's a really good one by
Yeah,
Voidless.
and a really popular one, which I had
Uh-huh.
no idea about for so long. And when I told that to Cupcake, she was just like, "How?" And I was just like, "I'm
How?
sorry."
So I had to send it to him.
Yeah,
And, yes.
it was basically just like I don't know. I just never watched it. It's like. Which is weird because it's like one of the big like seminal works of the Undertale fandom. Like, it's one of the reasons why so many people think Gaster and Sans have a connection and stuff. And and I just had never heard of it. I was just like, oh, that was like just a random fan theory that just got picked up by like Ask Frisk and Company and Glitchtail, right? And Cupcake was like, no, it came from this. But that is a really well animated MV. I really enjoyed that.
Voidless does very good work, very nice and smooth movements. Something I wish to achieve someday.
Maybe we could have them on the podcast. I don't know. I'm not sure how much they do Undertale work nowadays. Okay, so Dress for me says she remembered watching Ness and Sans being the same person because of the time machine that Ness used, and it brought people believing that it was covered behind Sans and Papyrus's house.
Oh yes, I remember that theory. That old thing.
Yeah, remember guys, Sans Undertale is Ness.
Sans Undertale is Ness? What?
that was just cut. That one theory it caused more memes than almost anything from the actual game.
Yeah.
I remember, like, I used to watch game theory and stuff before that, and after that, that's when, like, my was just like, do I really want to be watching this? Started to come up in my head. But, yeah. Keane also said, well, Sans Undertale is the thing that dragged me into the fandom because Sans is literally the mascot for the fandom at the time.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah, he's very he is very prevalent and still is.
Mhm. I mean, just look at like all the Sans fights and the Stronger Than You, and all of the different multiversal things.
Yeah, all the different like underverse and all that, all the stuff where it's just like, oh no, Sans is like the most important character and stuff. Yeah, Air Sans, Ink Sans, Fresh, Cross. Yeah, it's kind of crazy at this point. I wish.
Indeed.
I wish my Goat Boy got as many versions. Well, technically he has as many versions, but people don't go into them as much as they do with the Sanses and stuff. like technically there is a fresh Azrael and a cross Azrael.
Yes. X-Tail Azrael is good. Yes. Enjoy.
Haven't watched that. This basically sums up our relationship. I'm just just being like, Cupcake's like, yeah, this one animation thing I remember so far back in the day, and I'm just like, I still want to watch that, and she's just like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Unova's in the chat. Hey, Unova. How you doing?
Hey, Unova. Thank you for the congratulations.
Mm-hmm. Whenever I think of congratulations, I always think of freaking Evangelion because of what? Because of the ending of Evangelion now, and yeah, it's just kind of. I always think of freaking, and yeah, it's just kind of odd. Okay. I'm doing pretty well, even if I do seem a bit nervous. Well, I'm not nervous. I'm more just like confuzzled. Like, honestly, I probably just need to take like a deep breath or something. Hang on.
Drink some water. I was doing. I'm doing good. I had I'm not gonna lie, I had a stomachache before we started recording. But it's gone now, so I'm doing good.
Yeah. The last time I had a really bad stomachache was like about a week or two ago, where I've been drinking this apple cider, which is actually really good and stuff. But it had been out for a while, and I took a drink of it, and I was just like, I was so thirsty that I didn't even really care, so I just kept drinking it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, then I looked at like the bottom of the like big container that it was in, and I'm just like, there are bits floating in it.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so yeah, the next day I woke up with a stomachache, and I had to deal with that the whole day. I mean, it wasn't awful, but for the whole day, it was just like, hey, Aaron, want to go do something? My stomach hurts.
Oof. I thought you were going to say that it had like fermented or something.
Keane also adds, would you even believe that I even thought Papyrus Sans' father? Oh, jeez.
Wow. I didn't even know that was a thing that,
It,
like,
I mean, that would be the good twist. Sans isn't the one taking care of him. I'm taking care of Sans.
Sans isn't my older brother. He's not even older than I am. I am his father. Sans, I am your father. No.
That's a new one. It is a new one. I haven't heard of it. Drasti'famy also said there's something that sickens me with the community though is shipping, which as a first real shipper, I will say I'm glad to have one of the more neutral ships. Like a lot of the time, like I mentioned this before, but a lot of time when I say I'm a first girl shipper, they're just like, oh, okay then, because not a lot of people ship it, and it's not all that controversial and stuff.
Hmm. Right.
Kini said, it blows my mind that Papyrus is actually the younger brother. It, drasti'famy says, I always believed Papyrus was the oldest brother because he is taller. That's a freaking Full Metal Alchemist
Oh,
logic.
I know, right? Oh, you must be Edward Elric. No, I'm Alphonse. He's my little brother. Hmm.
I just remember that little girl. No, big no, small means little. You're the little brother.
Big little brother.
I mean, that's not very surprising for most people who's new to the fandom. I mean, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
There, I mean, we all believed in some pretty just like dumb theories back in the day, especially when we first played the game. Like, like honestly, like I thought that fly was just gonna be like a one-off joke enemy and stuff. It's like, oh, here's the it's the underground's like actually secretly like not as friendly as it looks stuff, and it's like gonna be an example for the game. But then he shows up at the end of at the end of the ruins, and I'm just like, oh, I guess this guy's gonna be sticking around. And apparently, drasti'famy actually dropped.
They've gone offline. I don't know what that. They probably had like internet problems or something, I imagine.
Oh, they're back. That's good.
I'll come back. I Unova in the chat says shipping in the fan base is either calm or you're in World War II. No in between.
Yeah, it's yeah. Basically, it's just like it's either like nice harmony, like I ship this thing and I respect you, or what did you just say to me?
How dare you say this to me? How dare you ship these two?
Meanwhile, Cupcake over here is like, what about friendship? That's the best type of ship.
The best type of ship is a friendship. Yeah.
The Full Metal. No, I'm Full Metal. Ha, you shrimp. You want to come again, pug?
Yeah. Yep, that's Edward all wrapped up.
Legit, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is like my favorite anime. So
I'm watching through it. It's so good.
yeah, I watched through it before. What's wrong with you?
Well, I have a tendency to not watch very popular animes just because they're popular, and I'm like, okay, I'm not falling for the hype. I don't, I wait till someone close to me says, hey, this is good before I actually watch it.
I said it was good to you like a couple of times.
Did you? I don't remember you saying it.
To be fair, we have known each other for a good amount of time, so I probably think what I'm thinking that's like what I'm thinking is like a couple months back could have been like a year or so back. So yeah.
Yeah. It was probably like a year or so ago. But I did start watching it a year or so ago, had to drop it for a while, and then just recently came back.
It is a Markiplier in FMA. You mean Colonel Hughes? Dude,
Yeah.
just how many people are just like they're just like this character looks like Markiplier and stuff. That is sometimes legit. Yeah, but my favorite Markiplier movie was when he was Metro Man in Megamind.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Devin Daniels, have you watched Adventure Time? I have watched Adventure Time. I got up to season 6, then for whatever reason I stopped watching it. I know that's going to like make a whole bunch of people go with because they and all that. But yeah, I know that the show gets like the show is like I was just on the precipice of the show starting to get like really, really, really good, and it already had been really good and stuff. But but yeah. Also, for those playing at home, Tevin Daniels, I think you might want to add and stuff to my bingo sheet because seriously, I really need to stop saying that.
Pasta. Uh, yeah, just Stephanie says, and she's right. You need to change the description.
Yeah, I
First,
know.
it's not the first anniversary special anymore. We already did that.
Yeah, it probably went on a bit too long if we're being honest. Yeah,
Also, Keane says, moral of the story:
it
friendship
probably
is
went on a bit.
inevitable. Yes.
Man, that My Little Pony, friendship is inevitable. I just imagine. I just imagined like freaking one of the main villains from My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, just with all the Stones of Harmony being like, I am inevitable.
Just Twilight holding a gauntlet with all of the elements, just like friendship is inevitable.
No, she'd say no. Friendship is magic, and just snap her. Wait, she can't snap.
Clops her hoof.
Yeah. Just a massive surge of energy. My mom says that was the coolest line of the past decade and stuff. And she said one of the
Really?
yeah, my mom really does like the Marvel movies and stuff. Just a nice thing about my family is that I'm a nerd, but so is the rest of my family. Basically, my mom, my dad was a dork, and my mom was a dork, and they basically made a bunch of dork children. Yeah, my mom and dad were like OG like fans. They were like into Star Trek and Star Wars and all and like read like Lord of the Rings when it was just still a book and all that.
Yep.
They were like Gen 1 fandom people. Like my mom like watched classic Doctor Who and stuff. And my mom's actually met a good amount of the doctors. She met 2, 3, 4, and 5. I don't think she's met any of the other doctors. So
Oh,
far,
wow.
yeah. This was back in like the 1980s though and stuff.
Mhm.
I was just like, I hope I get to go to a convention with like a couple more doctors, so my mom can be like, my mom. I hope my mom could do the joke of, "Hey, I've seen you before," and they could be like, "What? Really? I don't remember. Oh, just a different face."
All right. So I think we should. Did we actually say what these two have worked on?
It,
I don't think we did.
Yeah. So these guys work on work on their own AU, and it's the and it's Dustcult, and also distrust difficult mode. I'm not entirely sure about the titles. Could you, one of you guys, please correct me on that? Please. I don't want to seem like an idiot. I mean, I already have made myself seem like an idiot plenty of times, considering what I've been doing for the last couple minutes in this podcast. But yeah.
Aw. He's okay.
Yes, my mom and dad are super cool. Yeah,
Okay,
you know a
cool.
lot of uh you know how a lot of kids go for their like screw you mom and dad phase. I never went through that. They just were like I've always had a good relationship with my parents. I love them. I love them so much.
Mhm. Same. I never had that like you know like rebellious phase against mom and dad. It's just always been yes, mother. Let us watch Lord of the Rings together.
Yeah. I mean, there are certain things my mom will watch. Like she's not into like she's not into like stuff that's a bit more like kind of a bit more like brutal and stuff, like say Game of Thrones
Yeah.
or uh or like the Alien movies and stuff like that.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. Meanwhile, my dad's just like, oh, my favorites.
Oh, my favorite. I remember that. Yes.
Yeah. It's just Dustcult. Well, Dustcult is pretty much the thing we're focused on right now. Yeah. So,
Okay.
how about you tell us a bit about Dustcult and like how you came up with the idea for it?
Yes, please. So,
That's honestly ultra wholesome. Yes, it is ultra wholesome. Pasta's
yep.
parents must have seen the old Thundercats cartoon. My mom did actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay, here's the thing. My 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 parents actually became like typical adults, like, oh, that was all like in the past, that was all childish stuff. But then they had kids, and and after a
Reversion.
while they were just like, screw it. And they just basically went back on old habits. Well, with like my older sisters and stuff.
Alright, so Dust Cult is pretty much something that is like the end of the world. Oh. And then drasti'famy says, well, I started Dust Cult back in like 2018 when I had the idea of Reaper Tail and Dust Tail combined. And Keane, surprisingly, was the first ever member who joined and was interested since, well, present day.
Since it is impossible to reuse the Dusttail lore with Reaper Tail because there are no such things like LV or XP in that AU.
Oh, right. Mm.
I I haven't really read any much of Reaper Tail. I always thought it was one of those AUs that was like that's like a bit out of the like that's a bit like borderline, just like could you just write your own story at that point, AUs. Like I know it has a lot of fans and stuff. It does have a lot of great work. All the people, the artwork and stuff that I've seen from it is freaking gorgeous. But it's just one of those AUs that I was just like, eh. So yeah. Dusttail on the other hand, I have seen some of it. I've also seen a good amount of fan games about it. Watched Merg play a couple of them, and
Merg.
yeah, Merg. We should get him on the podcast. We definitely
That
get a
would
whole
be
bunch.
neat.
We definitely get a whole bunch of people if we did that because he actually like gets a whole bunch of views. Yeah, yeah, that's right. I'm saying it. We don't. It. It. Yeah, I'm saying it. They saying it. Oh, we don't have that many views, but hey, Reaper Tale is basically Undertale meets Greek mythology. Well, yeah, I know that.
Yes.
I know, like, Sans is death. And Toriel's like the goddess of like life or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I don't know that much about it. Like, if you gave me a test, I could probably get like 2 of the questions right on it. But yeah. So with some help, I was able to write some stuff for it. It's quite long. It might have some slight changes in the future. Well, that's fine, Keane. I
Yeah.
mean, you are still in development of this, which, by the way, this is going to be a fan game, uh, which does have a game jolt and stuff. Let me just make sure that I put that in the description. Dust cult game jolt. Yeah, as you can see, this is super professional right now. I am
professional.
all of the professional, yes, just completely professional.
All your professional art belongs.
I mean, it's not as bad as that time where I believe we were interviewing the creator of X-Wolf 26 or something like that, the creator of the creator of that Undertale fan fiction, and for a good bit of it, it's like people just couldn't hear my voice, and when I found that out, I was just like, I am the dumbest of dumb. I am just the dumbest.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah. Also, there have been a couple times that are technical difficulties. I just didn't realize it until it was too late. Like,
yes, I remember the Christmas episode.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't hear you for a while. Either.
That's still one of our most viewed. That's still like one of our most viewed videos, mainly for everyone else in there, not us.
Yeah.
When you get names like Lynx Griffin there and all that, yeah. Okay, Cupcake, could you post the bingo card on your Tumblr page? Well,
I keep forgetting to make it. I'm gonna write myself a note so that I can remember to make it.
Cupcake, make bingo card of all of. I should make a Cupcake bingo card. Like, free space would be mentions ducks in the podcast. You being a big asexual, that should be another one.
Big ace energy.
Yeah. You being very wholesome, that would also be one of them. Are you talking about no, that's more of a me thing. You mentioning how you draw stuff and people being like, "Oh wow, can you give us an example?" And meanwhile, I'll just like point to the background. Yeah, if you don't know, Cupcake did the background and stuff. She is a really good artist, which, by the way, she has her commissions open, so you may want to go get on that. So, yeah, all right. Just a family. Said, we are still in development on what to do with the replacements for things such as LV, XP, Gold, which is completely fine, like, minutia and stuff like that. When it comes to the creative process, there are a lot of different ways to do that, to do things like that, like, what a lot of the time what I do is basically like I think of the big picture and I think of like the characters in the story. Like I believe that character is the most important part of a story, Because if you have good characters, they can be doing anything, and people will still find it entertaining. Like, there's a reason why the Undertale characters, like, there have been like just comics and like in fanfiction chapters of just them like going out to the store and stuff, getting groceries, and that's still fun because the characters are so good, and you can think of the hijinks they would get into and all that. I think that's the mark of a good character, being able to imagine them in any setting, and it's still causing good stuff. I mean, of course, there are some characters that are like super ingrained into their a specific world and stuff that you kind of can't really separate them. But yeah, I think generally, the best characters are those that you can imagine in any situation, and it being entertaining to watch, to see just what happens. Like, oh, what if the Undertale characters went to a water park, or oh, what if they like decided to eat. What if they decided to eat. What if they decided to like have Papyrus cook a big feast for all of them and stuff?
All the Undertale characters after a long day of stuff go out for shawarma.
I would totally love that. Just them being like Sans. Sans. I've heard of this thing. It's called shawarma. I have no idea what it is, but I want to try it, mainly because it's fun to say. Shawarma. 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 Papyrus, I think I get it. Okay. Drasti'famy said, it's actually quite difficult as I have school. Preach. The inspiration is the Dustcult, though, as Unova asked in the chat. I'm still working on a lot of other things, but it's very much fun, and I get the chance to do it because I can experiment with stuff such as new mechanics. And yeah. Oh, thank you, Restream, for saying, oh, you got 100 messages. 100 messages in the chat and stuff. What's weird about that is like Restream, just like when it with the chat and all that, they just say like, oh, you should tweet about that. Just like, I should tweet that I got 100 messages in a chat in a stream, but I don't think that's a big accomplishment. That's kind of like saying, guys, I got 10 views on a video.
Guys, I wrote a thing that has 100 words.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys.
A cooking contest between Papyrus and Undyne on Mettaton's cooking show. Oh, that'd be great.
Wow. That would be amazing.
That reminds me of like my mom's really into Food Network stuff, and just watching stuff like Beat Bobby Flay and Worst Cooks in America and
oh yes.
And Cupcake Wars and all that.
Yes.
Just the idea of Mettaton being like, hello, darling, today we're going to have a competition that's going to be absolutely delicious. And the joke is that they get so competitive and stuff, they literally like blow up the stage.
Alright, nerds, let's get cooking.
No, don't put the oven that high, Path.
Yes. It's all the way or the highway.
Staying up to a higher temperature means it cooks faster, right? Done would think like that.
We can cook it for 20 minutes at 300 degrees, or we can cook it for 5 minutes at 1,000 degrees.
MK, that's not how that works. Put it in the stupid oven. I do have more ideas for the game /AU, so I may post
more on the Game Jolt about it on the future. Wink, wink. Yeah, go check out the Game Jolt, guys. That seems to be their main source of operations. Now, if you don't mind, I'm about to explain how Dustcult goes. Yeah, of course, Keane. That's why you're here. To get exposure and all that stuff.
We shall just go on tangents while you type.
Yeah.
Papyrus would try to cook. Undyne would scream at her oven to hurry up.
She would throw the oven.
Throw the oven.
I could totally be like, I could totally see like, I could totally see Alphys and her being like, oh, do you guys ever cook for each other? And then Alphys being like, nah, well, I cook for her, but I've never asked Undive to cook for me. Why not? I like my kitchen. I don't want there to just be a crater where the kitchen used to be.
I don't want to have to fix and replace the oven and the counters and the refrigerator again.
Yeah, again?
Again?
Yeah, she just comes out and just like, Alphys, I made dinner. How did you destroy the whole kitchen when you just heated up some of my leftovers?
Alphys, I made dinner. How did you use the microwave? How did you set the entire kitchen on fire? Well,
Untime's the type of person to somehow is somehow the type of person that starts a wildfire when she's trying to make cereal.
Undyne, you're not supposed to cook the cereal.
AU production.
Warmed up.
Drasti'famy responded to Unova's question. AU production began back in 2018, then stopped for a bit and began again back in late 2020. And game production began early this year. I am the only coder for the team right now, so I'm trying my hardest and looking for more coders for it. Hey. Yeah, the shout out to all the viewers out there. If you're interested in coding for an Undertale fan game, and Dustcult sounds like a cool idea to you, talk to them about it. Oh, okay. So Keane has now explained the whole lore and stuff. I'm gonna take a sip of water and yeah. Let me get my narrator voice. Ahem.
You have a narrator voice?
I do have a narrator voice. Ever since he has been created by God, Sans' prior task among gods was not only to keep the balance of life and death, but also to observe humanity, to let the other gods know, so they can decide the way to punish or gift humanity. Centuries went by, one changed by the other. Now it is the year 2021, the time when Sans noticed that humanity was slowly drowning in its own decadence, injustice, and sins, and making people rot. He noticed that the balance of life and death he was ordered to keep was simply gone. Earth was overpopulated. Life, flora, fauna was being devastated slowly by those parasites. Each action, pride, lust, greed. This world, there were almost no options left to save it from its own destruction. Sans and Papyrus cannot deal with it alone, so he calls out to the other god's help, but they didn't. Though, however important it is, and said that Sans carried it it way too far. Sans failed on convincing them. Left with ignorance, he tried to convince them again and again, but he got the same result. Knowing that the gods wouldn't help him, Sans decided to handle everything by himself, which led to a disaster.
Dun dun dun. Wowee.
I'm sorry with that in there. Or well, as I said, the end of the world.
End of the world. It's the end of the world as we know it.
Did he also make a ring of power? I'm sorry, I just couldn't help but get like, that sounds a bit Sauron-y, honestly.
Sauron-y?
Sauron-y?
I've never heard of this descriptive word before.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are just, when they think Dark Lord and stuff, they instantly think of someone like Sauron, which, if you actually look at, like, deeper into the lore and stuff, it's not just him, like, wanting to be like, I want to rule the world because I want to rule the world. It's more him, like, since he is, like, a craftsman, craftsman angel and all that, he's more like, no, I don't want the world to be destroyed. I want it to be ordered in my way, make it a big grand machine.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Oh, well, as I said, the end of the world. As the OST 3's name of Dustcult said, goodbye to a world. Well, dang.
Mm. Dang.
Hello there. Hello.
Hello. I cannot pronounce your name.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Wow, that is. I'm bad with names, so yeah.
I like your profile picture though.
Yeah, I like the PS5 controller. Yes. Drasti'famy says, speaking of the OST. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that Drasti'famy
Nice.
shared the OST with us.
Nice.
And listened to it, and yeah, it's pretty good. Because of the fact that Frisk is already dead at AU, I came up with the idea to let the player be a random civilian from our Earth.
Ooh.
So yeah, yes, Keane also did all the music and stuff, which you can go check out on her channel in the description.
Oh.
Or on her SoundCloud. She also has a SoundCloud out. Also, while I'm here, why not subscribe? Well, thank you, Fuzzy. That'd be wonderful of you. I made a joke like 413's like, oh, flip, is that a Homestuck reference? And stuff, and I wanted to do like a 420 joke, but when I checked in on it again, it was like 423, and I'm just like, I can't make a joke off of that.
Mean.
I wonder what we should do for 500 subscribers, if we should do anything.
I don't
I mean,
know.
I mean, if we get to like 500 subscribers by June, I guess we'll be halfway to my goal of getting 1,000 subscribers. And if we get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, like I said before, I will do a complete, I will do a genocide playthrough for the channel and stuff, which I've never done before, and will probably be absolutely painful for multiple reasons. So if you want to see me suffer, click subscribe.
Watch us just have 999 at the end.
Yes. Hey, honestly though, if we get to 999, I might just do it just to be like, okay, you guys got us that far. Uh,
So,
uh,
no genocide or pacifist or anything. The game itself is just going to be the view of that person on the doomsday. Ooh,
dang.
interesting.
Kind of reminds me of like Fallout. Kind of reminds me of like how at the beginning of Fallout 4 we actually get to see like the world, you actually get to see like the nukes dropping and all that. Yeah. You know where Sandclade asks, without spoiling anything, would the remaining characters for the UT cast play a role in Dustcult? So Keane, Keane and just family. I would. That is a question for you guys to answer.
Yes.
For what I've read of the description so far, I mean, like you said, it is a very brief description. A brief description. I'm not sure where they'd exactly fit into, but then again, like I said, I'm not that into to either AU, so I'm sure there's a way they could be in there. Oh no, the world is coming to an end. I'ma just do whatever I want for the rest of my life. Okay. Thanks, Kitty. Not really sure if that answers the question though. But yeah. While we're here, I guess I could ask. Uh, uh, well, right now I have an idea, but I will be talking to her about that. Okay, so drasti'famy did answer the question. So yeah, while we're here, I could just ask, like, what have been some difficulties with this while trying to make this fan game? I mean, you've already told us how it's like, you already told us on like how it's troublesome, like not having gold or LV or XP and stuff. So yeah, would you please explain some of the difficulties that you've had? Drasti'famy, you seem to be the like main creator, so you've been here the longest and stuff. Also, I know Keeney's been here a whole a whole long time and stuff. So yeah.
Yes.
If you may explain the difficulties that you've had. I mean, you talked about how it started back in 2018, but stopped, then started back up again in 2020. So yeah.
Dustcult Sands and the Purge Sands have one phrase in common. Let's spread the doom.
Spread it far and wide.
I was about to start like singing the Doom theme song, but I can't remember how it goes.
Well, a lot of people think that it's Reaper dust, and we have to explain it to others that it's completely different, as it was originally based on Reaper Tail and Dusttail. So that's one difficulty. Well, yeah, but I'm more just talking about like coming up with ideas, and also like the struggles of like trying to make the game and all that. Fuzzy. I mean, it's called Project the Doomsday for a reason, right? Well, yeah. What? What?
Water is a good snack. Water is the best snack.
Yes. To Keane and Drasty, what snacks do you like? Water. Amazing.
Yes, water is a good snack.
Water is delicious.
And nutritious.
And Drasty says death. Death is the best snack.
You know, people say death is tasty and all that, but it's so hard to get a lot of the time, so I don't bother really.
I know, right? You gotta go through like the whole thing with the black market and stuff, and then you gotta, it's just so difficult.
Yeah, it's so difficult. I'd rather just like eat some like potato chips and all that. I don't need to get into that. Does that mean hydrating is actually a snack break? Hey Connor, good to have you here. Sorry for just flinging this podcast on to you like everyone else.
I like how you flung it onto everybody, but you just apologized to Connor. That's it.
Okay, I'm sorry, everybody. That's what I really should say. Well, the difficulty of getting ideas is because there are so many already out there from other AUs.
True. It's hard to have like an original like thing in this fandom just because of how much is currently out there.
Yeah.
So
This
much.
fandom's been alive for 5.5 years now and all that. And it's just kind of difficult with everything. Like when it came to guys, get that bingo card out. When it came to making my AU and stuff, I did take inspiration from other Undertale AUs and stuff, but what a lot of it came from is one of the things that I see a lot of the time is like one of the problems that a lot of AUs nowadays has cross pollination and stuff. It's like like this AU is like based off an idea that wasn't explored this well in this AU and all that stuff. When actually like looking to other media and all that can really help give you ideas that you wouldn't think like say my original conceit for my AU the first story in a Flower's Trial and stuff, that wasn't based off of anything Undertale. It is in one aspect, but it was basically more like based off the idea of, hey, what if this character was put in like this one episode of Doctor Who and stuff. So yeah, basically I was just like, hey, what if Flowey had to like reclaim their soul and stuff, but they had to go through some difficulty. And I was thinking well, what's the most difficult, painful thing that I've ever seen a character go through and stuff? And I was just like, what the Doctor went through in Heaven Sent. So what happened if Flowey had to go through that to reclaim their soul? And boom, that's where the story came from. So yeah, hey, look, funny number. Started streaming 69 minutes ago. Nice. I like how Keane is just like, holy. Not holy crap, not holy shit, just holy.
Just holy. Holy moly.
Holy gosh. Holy Jesus.
Have a good day. I still can't pronounce your name, but have a good day.
Yes, have a good day. Thanks for stopping on by on such short notice. I swear I'll give a better heads up next time. Yeah, that's the thing. I really like, if I'm being honest, like this podcast, like a lot of the times, like it is kind of my baby. Like it is also Cupcake's baby too, and also,
Yes.
but I am the main person. I'm the one who does all the tech stuff. I'm the one that like sets the dates. I'm the one who like people go forward if they want to ask to be on the show, or I'm the one like shoots a message to somebody to basically be like, hey, can you come on here? Un momento. I have just gotten a knock on my door.
Yeah, they're coming for him. Hello. I'm all by myself. Surprise podcast, or as I like to call it, a popcast. A quick pop quiz cast. Yes. I mean, you guys are here too, but it's just so silent.
I am now back.
Yay, no more silence.
My brother came in to tell me that my dinner is ready.
Ooh, what's for dinner?
Just sandwiches. Basically, my mom was kind of lazy, and she basically took out a bit. She took out like one of the nice loaves of bread and all that, and one of the nice loaves of bread that we have, like cut it up into a couple of pieces and put out some like luncheon meat and some cheese and stuff and some Miracle Whip, and she's just like, yeah, put it together yourself.
Yes. Also, yes, hydration break. Don't forget to hydrate.
Drums and indeed they are coming. Thank you, Gamer97, for that.
The drums in deep.
We're talking the drums from. We need to drink at least 8 liters of water every day. Fact. Actually, that's a misconception. We do. We don't need to drink. You don't need to drink 8 liters of water, like as in like straight up water. Like you get a lot of water from food and stuff.
Food, vegetables, and fruits.
And actually one of the things that we found out. One of the things that we found out is like if I can get my nerd glasses on. I learned this from a show like way back in the day and stuff. Like they dehydrated a bunch of meals and stuff from healthiest to least healthy. And one of the most common factors about it, like it was that the healthier meals had actually a lot more water content to them than the unhealthy meals. Like say a meal with say an apple, some salad on the side, and a nice like healthy sandwich like on wheat bread and with turkey and lettuce and all that. That was a lot more healthier than say like one with like day-old pizza and all that. So yeah, one of the most healthy things to do is actually stay hydrated, because water is the thing that basically makes it so that all your stuff can move as easily as it does. Water is basically the motor oil and stuff to a lot of things. So yeah, stay hydrated, guys. That is very important. And also for those out there, maybe just drink some regular water a lot of the time. You don't have to drink soda or milk or whatever. I mean, milk is also good, and there's nothing wrong with like a soda like every now and then. Like
Calcium.
Soda. The thing with soda and me, it's like honestly, I only have soda once a day, and that's because back in the day when I was a kid,
that was the rules. It's like I could only have like one can of soda or one cup of soda a day, and I just never got out of that habit. So basically, my drinks have been like in the morning. I get coffee. With my lunch, I get like some sort of juice or iced coffee, and then at dinner time, that's when I actually get my soda. Now the only exception to this is if my family goes out. If family goes out, I always get like I just say flip the rules and like I'm a rebel and I like get soda with my lunch and all that. But that's the only time. So yeah, maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm so skinny, along with the fact that I just don't go outside all that much. It was really sad because it's a really nice day where I live. It's like 71 degrees. Hey Scott Cotton, love to hear you rant as always.
Yep.
Keep adding more exclamation points in bold letters, buddy. I'm sure one of us will take notice one day.
So
that could be our April Fool's Day next
comes
week.
in all.
Why are you here on a podcast about Undertale? Because some people... Okay, there are two main reasons why I could be doing this. One is just to like, I'm just joking around and all that stuff. And two, he could just be like letting out his feelings on a place where he could just be letting out his like dislike of Undertale and stuff on here, on a place where he knows he won't get too much of a punishment or anything. Like that. It's like how people rant on social media and stuff. They know they can get away with it.
But I do not like your statement that milk comes in all sorts of colors. I don't know why that makes me uncomfortable.
What about blue milk from Star Wars?
No.
Well, what about brown milk? Chocolate milk?
Okay, that's acceptable. Like chocolate milk, pink milk, the strawberry. But
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, like I've already told you this, Cupcake, but I have that childless assertion, like, here's that I think a lot of kids have, where it's like, the white and black cows, they make the regular milk, and the white and black cows make the regular milk, and the brown cows make the chocolate milk.
Yes. Where's the pink cows to make the strawberry milk? Also.
Yeah, this is not. Well, there. That could be. That would be something nice, just a bright pink, cow that makes strawberry milk.
Okay. So while we think of another question to ask our guests, I'm going to talk about the weirdest thing that I found in a store at some point.
Oh.
I was on not like the weirdest food item, drink that I've found. So I was on a trip with my sister and her family, heading to some place in California, and we stopped in this cute little town, and we stopped at the grocery store to pick up on supplies, and there in the section with the milk, right next to the chocolate milk, was what I thought was chocolate milk, but it was not. It was a bottle of root beer milk.
Well,
And to this day, I regret not buying it just to see what the heck it was.
Yeah. Goddard Boy Strawberry Cow sounds like something out of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It does. It really does. And this is the cow room. Why are they all those different colors, Mr. Wonka? Well, of course, the brown one makes the chocolate milk. The pink one makes the strawberry milk, and the white one makes the regular milk.
Yes.
And we even have some experimental ones like blue cows for blueberry milk and yellow cows for banana milk.
Yeah.
Root beer float milk. Yeah.
I know. It's like if it was like a root beer like sweet cream something or other, I might have understood. But it just said straight up root beer milk, and I was like, what?
I
Excuse
mean,
me?
you always find this like strangest like consumable strangest like bits of food and stuff when you're like in the middle of a road trip and you stop at like a gas station in somewhere and you're just like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
Coffee tastes super good. Coffee is good. I am definitely a coffee person over tea.
Hot chocolate. Mm.
Or white and yellow milk for yellow snow. Ew! Gamer!
No.
And then it makes me super sleepy. But if coffee makes you sleepy, that's the inverse of what it does for most people.
Caffeine does different things for different people. Caffeine sometimes makes me sleepy too.
I like how the conversation from Undertale AUs turns into water, snack, and milking cows.
Yes. We only go on the best tangents on this podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, some of our craziest tangents have been me telling like my childhood stories and stuff like that. But yeah, okay, getting back on Undertale for a second.
Yes.
Alright, getting back on Undertale for a second. Which character? What do you think? Each Undertale character's favorite milk would be? No, that's not what I meant. Yeah. I don't know why it's just like, I just like, human. I heard milk was good for bones, so I'm trying it out. Pavard's wood donut just leaks out of him. This human milk is weird. It's human milk, not monster milk.
It doesn't just dissolve into magic.
Like how many good combinations between milk and stuff, especially coffee and tea. Yeah, milk can do a whole bunch of stuff. Milk can make ice.
Yeah.
It can make like cream, ice cream, butter, parfaits, also cheese, sour cream. Oh, so much different stuff from milk. Okay, let's stop talking about milk.
Yes.
Let's move on. Let's move on to juice. Okay. Anyways, bring it back to Undertale and stuff. We were talking about ideas earlier and how it's like troublesome to come up with original ideas, especially with this fandom being like years into its existence and all that. Is your urge to be original and stuff, was that one of the things that like hindered development of this AU? Was you focusing so much on trying to be original? Because I know that is a lot of stuff is just like like I gotta be original and stuff. Which, by the way, one of the things you have to realize is that
everything is unoriginal. Like Star Wars and stuff. Star Wars and stuff borrows from like a whole bunch of stuff. Lord of the Rings is all about Lord of the Rings is like Norse and English mythology just getting together. There's there's there there's things like there's things stuff like Game of Thrones and stuff that's based off of English history along with typical fantasy stuff. Yeah, there's just a whole bunch of stories where it's just like, oh, it's so original, I'll never make something like that. And honestly, though, it's like everyone's inspired by something. That's how ideas perpetuate and stuff. That's how a lot of writers get their ideas. They watch something or read or listen to something and are just like, hang on, what that little idea, that idea that like in the story or the idea I came up for that story. What if that was a whole story in general?
Yep.
Because it's like with Lord of the Rings and stuff, with the whole One Ring of Power and stuff that actually comes from an old play, old Greek play by Plato, about a ring that makes someone invisible, and Tolkien was probably reading that and he was just like, well, what if someone like a burglar or something used that? I mean, that'd be really helpful, but a magic ring and stuff, if that'd be preposterous. Why would you need a magic ring to sneak around something if you're a good enough burglar? Unless he wasn't all that good a burglar. What would they be sneaking around anyway? Some dragon, some sort of like dragon's hoard of gold or something? So yeah. Yeah, you know, that is a good point. The trick is that you don't need an original idea. Steal ideas from people and change them into new ideas. Yeah. This obsession with originality isn't healthy for anyone. It's basically... basically... there's always going to be like however original that your idea is inside your head and all that, there's always going to be like someone's going to be like, hey, that reminds me of this thing and stuff in there. So yeah, people talk so much about originality though. It's like everything is a remix and stuff, everything is like jumbled together and all that. But the problem is with originality and all that is like it's like the same sort of remix. Like it's the same sort of like it's the same sort of remix that they've seen over and over again and all that. So they want like new elements in there. They want new different things. It's like it's like say with it's like say with Star Wars and stuff. It's like originally it was just like a tribute to like Flash Gordon and if Flash Gordon like serials like adventures science fiction serials like that. But then like Lucas stuff added in like things like the Force and the Force and stuff to basically make it so that yes, it is like it is like a space opera with like laser guns and all that, but there's also like there's also like these like group of like noble swordsmen and stuff who like have this power to basically to like balance them out and all that and make them so good at like sword fighting and all that. Question: will Dustcult make an official social media such as Tumblr, Insta, YouTube, except promoting the games, or will the projects be promoted on your current accounts? That is a good question, you know.
That is a good question.
So yeah, Keane and
and drasti'famy, would you please explain that? Like, is there going to be a dedicated channel, or is it just gonna stay like on your own personal channels? Okay, Keane says it's going to stay in their personal channels. I'm too lazy to make a separate one. Yeah, it's not as hard as you would think. I thought technically this podcast is a side channel on my main YouTube account. Which, by the way, my main YouTube account is Pasta Guy. Don't subscribe. I don't do anything on there. I might want to do stuff on there, like a certain live stream series idea that I've been having. But
Well.
yes, a Breath of the Wild playthrough, which I really need to start soon if I'm going to be doing that. And I had some troubles with recording that game, so that's why I didn't start sooner. I'll try to honestly, I'll probably like do it tonight, like try to figure out like how to actually properly record it so that we can start doing that. Anyways,
if you want some help, you can talk to me and I will try to help you.
Yeah, I need you to be like, hey, how do you make like that thing where it's like when you get a new follower, there's like a little new animation or music or something.
A little do.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my god. That is...
What?
Okay, so this is Undertale related, but it is completely off of what we were talking about. I have the first collection series of the Undertale figurines and stuff. I have Frisk, I have Sans, I have Toriel, I have Papyrus, and I have Lesser Dog. And one of the things I just thought out about one of the things I just found out about the Lesser Dog thing is that his neck actually does go up if you pull on it.
Really?
Yes, it does. Like, I'll send you a picture. I'll send you a picture of it later. It's freaking crazy. I didn't know that they had detail on that. But yeah.
Okay, so I submitted a question. we were testing out something, but my question was, what is it like trying to put your ideas and story into game form? And then Keane answered, painful.
Yeah, because a lot of the time with stories and stuff like that, you think about that idea in your head and it's just like, oh, how hard can that actually be to like put into a game or into a story? But then you realize how much work it actually is to set things up where it actually makes sense, like in game or in story. And that's why I think a lot of people half do it. Like, there are a lot of times it's just like, a lot of times when you're like say playing a game and you're watching a cutscene and you're just like, wow, this would more just make a really good movie instead of a game, really. But there is it with how hard it is to like put in game mechanics into game mechanics and story mechanics together and all that. There's a reason why a lot of the times it's like a lot of the times in games it's like the story and gameplay are like absolutely separate from one another, like completely just like in different rooms. Like when like there's like cutscenes and stuff, it's like cutscenes. It's like explaining the story and stuff. But then the mission for the story mode starts up and it's like you're doing like crazy stuff in game that it just doesn't seem possible like in the story and stuff. And it's kind of it's just kind of just. And yeah, just the distinctions between that can just be jarring.
Uh, you know what said in the chat. The act of creation is difficult, but is very rewarding. Seeing the project you love so dearly come to life is something special. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Uh, I've been like, I've been in kind of a Disney mood recently, and I heard about like the story of like when Walt Disney just like saw like Snow White and stuff, just like fully animated and fully made and stuff, that he was just crying because he was just like he never thought he would do anything like it.
Oh.
And, and also apparently Walt Disney hosted a huge party after. A huge party afterwards, but if you want to go see that, go watch Defunctland. This is the Disney Lore channel.
Also, Justy has 2 dogs. Yes.
Aw, doggos. Yorkshire Terrier and Bulldog. That's adorable.
Oh,
so cute.
I love doggos. I realized that I do this thing where whenever I see like a dog in a car or something, I go like, oh, it's a good doggo. And then depending on what breed of dog it is, it'll my the pitch in my voice will change. Like if it's a little dog, I'll be like, oh, it's a good doggo. But if it's a big dog, I'll be like, a good doggo.
Yeah. Me and my brother have something similar where a lot of the time we'll just be out like walking somewhere and we'll see a dog and one of us will usually like shout like dog.
Yes, dog.
Or cat, or well, any animal really.
Hey.
And I do get weird looks from people sometimes. It's like, what the heck are you? Why did you just call out something? Call out animal like that? Kitty, I am afraid of doggos. Dogs, not doggos. Yeah, dogs can be pretty scary. I had a fear of dogs for a while because a dog bit my ear.
Oh.
That legit was. And it was a golden retriever too, and that was like one of my favorite dog breeds before then. So yeah, I was like scared of dogs for a bit, but then over time it's just like, yeah, dogs are cool. Even though my family is much more a cat family, but as I said before, my family does not have a cat because of that. If it ever did, my oldest sister couldn't come to visit because she is like deathly allergic to them. Like if she's in the same room with them long enough, her throat will start to close up. Type of allergic.
Oh no.
And yeah, that's why there's no cats.
Ouch.
Cupcake's pitch is directly proportional to the size of the doggo. Yes, it is. Thank you for noticing. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, we've been going on for a fair bit of time. I think we might start to wrap things up. I have been putting off my dinner for a good amount of time, so yeah. If you guys have any more questions about Dustcult,
ask them in chat.
ask them in chat quick before we wrap things up. So yeah, I'm gonna ask drasti'famy and Keane the big question that I always ask at the end of every podcast. How do you both feel about your place in the Undertale fandom as you are currently? Like, how do you feel about it specifically? I mean, I know it's a smaller AU and all that so far, but
how do I feel about the community so far? Well, no, just your place in the community. It doesn't have to be about the community itself. Also, we got another question from Unova asking, what is the part you're most excited for Dustcult, the story, gameplay, or the aesthetics? That is also a good question. Thank you, Unova. Maybe we should make you a co-host. I mean, the original plan for the podcast was for me to have 2 co-hosts and stuff. But that sort of fell through because Viking left and Elsa TMNT also got caught up with their own stuff. So yeah, thinking that we might need to get a replacement one of these days. I would like to do that.
Yes, promotion.
How powerful is Sans and Dustcult? He is literally death. Which, I mean, yeah. Does he use his cipher? Other than that, does he look menacing? And also, Keane answered the question you had before. What part of the Dustcult are you most excited about? And that would be apparently the story, which, yeah, from what I've heard, it is actually pretty cool. Do you have an idea, though, for the final boss in Dustcult 2? Just Family says, well, I'm leaving it right after the podcast, as I stated to Keane and Pasca a few times because all of the toxicity on it, and I'm getting bored of it. Well, I wouldn't say at least the parts I'm in and stuff aren't all that bad, but I'm not as I'm not in the same parts you are. I'm not on SoundCloud or Game Jolt and all that. I'm mostly Tumblr and Twitter and DeviantArt when it comes to where I am in the Undertale fandom. Like, I myself have had some kind of rough experiences, but that was back when I was on Undertale Amino and all that. Just Family. Well, I'm excited for the ending of it when it finishes. Of course. she just wants it to be over. And Keeney's like, well, the community is like full of kids who's simping for Sans, and I'm just like, yeah, it is, but there are
you gotta get out of those parts of the community because there are other parts of the community.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, what can be really bad and stuff being like, oh, this community's so toxic and stuff. It's like, a lot of the time, yes, Undertale has that reputation, especially back in the day when there were so many people doing so much stuff so many things a whole bunch of the time and stuff. But a lot of the time, when people say fandoms are toxic and stuff, it's usually a certain portion of the fandom and all that. There are good people in it.
A very vocal portion of the fandom.
Yeah, it's basically what you have to find your nice little own corner and stuff and all that. A lot of the time, I've described this before, like. So yeah, whenever someone says the fandom's toxic, it talks it and stuff. What I really say is like maybe try to get out of the bubble of the fandom that you've made yourself into. Like try to explore like the fandom on different platforms or like different parts of the same platform and stuff, and see if you can find a more positive aspect to it, because there is a whole bunch of positivity in this fandom. That's why I am doing this in the first place, because I do think there is so much creativity and wonderfulness to this fandom that from like small creators like you to the bigger ones and all that. There is so much from this fandom, and of course a lot of that is bad too, but there's a whole bunch more good in my opinion. But yeah, just family. If you are getting tired of it and stuff, that is completely reasonable. Like, interest for people come and go and all that. Like, that is completely reasonable. So yeah. If you're getting bored with it, you can just go. There's nothing saying that you have to stay here. But yeah, if you do want to like say come back in the future, after like a good break, yeah, that could totally be what you do and all that. So yeah. So yeah, what is the main story of Dustcult? Dustcult. Ooh, what the heck is that? Question: after Dustcult, what projects do you have planned afterwards? OCs, other fan games, etc. I do have more. Oh, that's nice, Keane.
Nice.
Yeah. Like, even though I am part of the Undertale fandom and stuff, that doesn't mean I don't have a whole bunch of other ideas for both other fandoms and Undertale and like outside of the main stuff that I work on and all that. Being a creative person in a lot of the time is kind of being known to just being constantly barraged by like different ideas and stuff, and sometimes you're just like, no, I don't want to have like an idea like that right now. I'm focusing on something else. But yeah, just take them as they come, and everything should work out. Like, and if you can't work on an idea for whatever for now, just write it down and maybe get back to it later when you're less busy, because there's nothing wrong with just managing your time as you see fit.
Yes.
And drasti'famy has been typing for quite a while.
Have much to say.
Hey, drasti'famy. That's my job to do really long Discord messages. Like seriously, just it's an in-joke. And like all my friends, they know I can sometimes just like go on for paragraphs and stuff when they were just expecting like a 1-sentence response. Okay, then what's the main storyline? Main storyline, as I understand, is basically it's a crossover between Reapertail and Dustcale. And it's basically Sans after a while. It's just like, those humans have been like screwing up too long. I'm gonna do a purge.
I'm gonna do what we call a pro gamer move.
Pro gamer move: destroy the human race.
Thanos. Thanos confirmed. um, real, no fake. Yes. Drasti'famy says, the idea I had for the ending/final boss for Dustcult is like 6 bones, but with all the dust sands killed over the years and all the AUs that he has murdered combining together to form one big abomination. Oh no.
Yeah, that'd be huge. That'd be planet-sized.
That would be terrifying.
Get full on like Dragon Ball Z levels of stuff in here. Xanathos. I am the legendary fart master. But
Fuzzy says, so when you die in Dustcult, can you come back to the save point, or are you just completely dead?
For me, it's pointless to have any bonuses in the Doomsday because you will die anyway. Well, that's kind of the whole game is probably going to be said. Well, that's kind of the thing. It's like I'm reminded of I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, and and the creator of the game basically said like there is no win state in I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. It is basically a story about how to lose better. That's how he framed it. And while there is like the happiest ending and all that, where the big bad like gets destroyed and all that, you could say that it's not actually it is still a lose state, because especially for games back in the day, which were concerned about like having your characters be alive and stuff by the end of the story, you still lose. All the main characters are dead by the end of it. Even in the best ending, so yeah.
Right. Okay, just Stephanie says, well, I don't think there will be save points, so I think you would completely die. So hardcore, basically. Because there's no LV and such. Right. Spending the rest of your life thinking about your past and present. Ow. Ow.
Hate. Let me tell you about hate. Have you actually heard about I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream Cupcake?
I think I have heard of it. I can't entirely remember everything, but I know I've heard of it. I don't think I did. No, I know I didn't play it. You know.
Yeah, I haven't played it either. I just know a lot about it because I watched a YouTube video on it, honestly. Yeah, if that's gonna be everything, I think we are actually gonna wrap up because I am getting hungry and I feel bad for the babies. Easter eggs planned too. Well, yeah, but who doesn't?
Easter eggs, good.
All right. Well, yeah. So yeah. Thank you, both Keane and drasti'famy for coming in. Maybe a different podcast Easter egg. Hey, if you do that, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for coming onto the show, and thank you all so much for coming. As for hope you all check out Dustcult if it interested you in any way, and for those it was fun talking about milk and water snacks. And for what's next for the Determined podcast, I'm not really all that sure actually. I have a couple ideas for who our next guest is going to be. So yeah, there is like one big person that I really want to get on here, but I'm not sure that I can. But hey, we'll see how that works out. We'll see if I'm squealing with joy in like a couple days or so, or just being sad because they never returned my messages like Absolute Dream did. Yeah, I'm still holding on to that grudge. Man, it's gonna be really awkward if Absolute Dream ever actually does come on here, and it'll be like, and I'll be like, I had a grudge on you, and he'll basically be like, you did.
We'll just act like it never happened, and then the chat will call us out.
They had a grudge on you, guys. Shut up.
Pasta had a grudge on you because you didn't return his email, guys. Shush.
So yeah, have yourselves all a great night. Take care, and remember, stay determined.
Stay determined.
Stay determined.
Yay.
And we'll see you all